Shooters in the mid-90s had a very different flavor than the ones you'll find today. In some ways, it's nice to revisit the golden years of arcade gaming, but only if the game can withstand the tests of time. Sonic Wings, also known as Aero Fighters in North America, has been a fan favorite for almost 20 years, with arcade ports and series installments showing up in arcades, the Super NES, and even the Neo Geo.
But sometimes nostalgia can be a powerful factor. Sonic Wings Special is an enhanced 32-bit port of the arcade release Sonic Wings Limited, which made its way to PlayStation and Sega Saturn. Recently though, the PlayStation version boasts a broader availability with release on the PlayStation Network from Monkey Paw Games. But how does it fare with brand new players?
On the outset, you have access to 5 different teams from around the world to choose your fighter from. Each of the teams has 2 members, and each has a specific aircraft with unique fire patterns, bomb attacks, movement rates, special attacks, and bomb stocks. New teams and planes can be unlocked as you complete the game with every available team.
The only problem with having so many characters to choose from is not being able to select members from another country. You have to use members from the same team. Given the interactions between the characters after each stage, it's a wonder they didn't allow for more variety that led to humorous or awkward situations between rivals and such. Quite the missed opportunity. But this isn't the biggest issue with Sonic Wings Special. Even though there's a diverse movement set between the ships, the movement rate feels a bit sticky, no matter how fast your plane moves. This will result in quite a few cheap deaths from bullet patterns that should be simple to navigate through.
That doesn't mean that there's nothing to like about Sonic Wings Special. The most interesting part about this game is definitely its level structure and game flow. Instead of your typical 5 to 7 stage spread, Sonic Wings Special boasts 17 stages, with only 9 being playable in any given playthrough. The first stage is constant, but the next 3 are randomly chosen from a pool of 5. There are also a pair of branching paths as you progress as well, giving Sonic Wings Special an extra dose of replayability, since you never know what stage will come up.
There are a couple different ways to boost your score on Sonic Wings Special. The first is continuously picking up power icons. At full power, you'll get a 2,000 point bonus.
Beyond that, destroying ground installations such as a building or artillery will leave behind a currency symbol relevant to the nation your team hails from. There will be spots where these pickups are worth more than others, and some of the highest valued ones are pretty well hidden.
Otherwise, there's not much to say about the scoring. It's more or less rudimentary, run-of-the-mill, and mostly boring.
The presentation in Sonic Wings Special is a bit of a mixed bag. While the varying portraits are clear and sometimes pretty funny, this only really applies to the close-ups. The full character portraits are definitely not so hot. In addition, the planes aren't especially detailed and are lacking the kind of animation you'd expect from an arcade 2D shooter from the mid-90s. Most of the enemies, save for the mid-bosses and stage bosses, suffer from the same lack of detail.
In addition, most of the backgrounds seem less than interesting, featuring very little animation, simple design, and a drab color palette. Having the credits displayed on the screen is a pain as well, and completely unnecessary. The sound also comes across as less than thrilling, with only a handful of standout tunes, and just decent sound effects.
This particular release is also quite blurry for a 32-bit title. It's obvious that the game was smoothed out for high definition, but I would have preferred a true 1-to-1 scaling in HD with super chunky defined pixels in favor of a blur filter. And because Sonic Wing Special never saw a home release outside of Japan, the game is entirely in Japanese. So when it comes to the numerous interactions between characters, some players might be left in the dark. So, how does Sonic Wing Special stack up? Let's take a look. On the control front, Sonic Wing Special feels a little iffy.
The chunky control felt too floaty and unresponsive with what felt like a short delay.
With 17 stages and randomized 9-stage sets, there's a lot to play through here, but
I personally would have preferred a standard 5 to 7 stage set, just to stop playing this game sooner.
there is a bit of challenge on the outset due in part to the control and poorly defined collision. However,
the difficulty is easy to overcome after a few playthroughs.
As a 32-bit arcade port, the animation and drab backgrounds are an eyesore.
This game has aged rather terribly, and I didn't care for the character design.
The forgettable and sometimes annoying soundtrack has far too few standout pieces.
The overall sound presentation was less than fun to listen to.
But on the ingenuity front, the randomized game flow and the numerous, if two-player choice limited, character set is great.
I did like the team aspect of the game, and the randomized stages and branching mission structure was pretty cool.
Sonic Wing Special gets a 3 out of 5. While we can't actively recommend it, fans will likely dig it. You could import a copy of Sonic Wing Special on either PlayStation or Sega Saturn for anywhere from $30 to $60 depending on completeness or condition. And if you do, spring for the Saturn version with its single music CD. But I'd recommend sticking to the PSN version for just $6 if you're curious about this game.